I thought that I would do something different today and start off with a poem. When God had made the earth and sky, the flowers and the trees, he then made all the animals, the fish, the birds, the bees. And when at last he'd finished, not one was quite the same. God said, I'll walk this earth of mine and give each one a name. And so he traveled far and wide, and everywhere he went, a little creature followed him until its strength was spent. When all were named upon the earth and in the sky and sea, the little creature said, Dear Lord, there's not one left for me. Kindly the Father said to him, I've left you till the end. I've turned my own name back to front and call you Dog, my friend. This is attributed to Anonymous. I can understand why the author would not want to be identified. It is likely that you are all familiar with the idea that the word dog spelled backwards spells God. You will also be familiar with the idea that this is presented as if it was some kind of eureka moment of profound insight into the truth of the universe. I'm not going to waste much time debunking this or explaining how monumentally stupid it is, but I do want to spend some time explaining how clever it is. First of all, a brief debunk. I have made videos about how dangerous dogs are, how many people they maim and kill by attacking them. I have made videos about the number of potentially deadly bacterial infections that dogs transmit to humans. I have made videos about how common parasitic infestations are in dogs and how they pass these parasites onto humans. I have made videos about how dogs are not loyal, they are not trustworthy, they are incapable of love or any other higher level human type emotion. I could go on. Just look at my videos to see that there is nothing godlike about these four-legged, shit-eating, opportunistic scavengers. Put the phrase dog is God backwards into any search engine of your choice, and you will get literally millions of hits. People believe in it. There are non-stop intellectual arguments trying to explain what is a very silly idea. It is depressing that so many people will buy into this, but that is also why it is so clever. I'll come back to that later. Now, why is it silly? It only works in the English language. It supposes that God had knowledge of modern English when he carried out the naming ceremony. The names of animals are all man-made and are appropriate to the language of the speakers. The names of animals change over time. The earliest mention of the word dog is in the 11th century. At that time, the general word for dog was hund, later to become hound. The word dog originally referred to large breeds of dogs, not all dogs. The history doesn't fit. Dog is God backwards is nothing more than a rearrangement of letters. Golf is flog backwards. Live is evil backwards. So what? What does it tell us? Absolutely nothing. The sentence, a dog, a panic in a pagoda, spelled backwards is a dog, a panic in a pagoda. It might be a tiny bit interesting, but it tells us nothing about dogs or pagodas. It could tell us something about dogs in pagodas. I feel a little bit embarrassed debunking that because it is so stupid and the flaws in it are so obvious. Here is the clever part. In 1984, the hamburger chain Wendy's gave us the phrase, "Where's the beef?" These particular adverts ended in 1985, although the phrase was revived in adverts in 2011. Although these adverts aired in the USA for a brief period, the phrase, "Where's the beef?" became used throughout the English-speaking world to indicate that something was missing or lacking. This is the power of the slogan. It is helpful to look at this in advertising terms. Dog is God spelled backwards. This is a powerful and influential slogan that has spread quickly. Like most slogans, it appeals to the emotions and doesn't stand up to any logical or factual examination. Because it's a catchy slogan, people accept it first and then try to explain it after the fact. Like all successful slogans, When it is repeated and repeated and repeated, it becomes accepted as true and then enters the language as a factoid. The author Norman Mailer invented the word factoid in his 1973 book Marilyn, a biography of Marilyn Monroe. He defined it as, quote, facts which have no existence before appearing in a magazine or newspaper, creations which are not so much lies as a product to manipulate emotion in the silent majority, end quote. Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines it as, quote, an invented fact believed to be true because it appears in print, end quote. A lot of factoids are harmless, and it doesn't matter if they are true or not. For example, you cannot see the Great Wall of China from space. Goldfish do not have a 3-second memory. Sharks can get cancer, and a penny dropped from the Empire State Building will not kill you. Dog-based factoids are harmful. How many people have died because of the pit bulls used to be known as the nanny dog factoid? In the world of dog love, slogans and factoids replace evidence. So what's the harm in claiming that dog is God backwards? For one, it provides a view that dog ownership, dog entitlement, and dog worship are preordained by a higher power that is infallible and all-knowing. It suggests that dog ownership is part of the natural order, like the sunrise or the seasons. By linking dog ownership with unspecified major religions, it suggests that any disagreement is irreligious or blasphemous. Also, by linking dog worship with organized religion, it cheapens and demeans deeply held religious belief. The idea that dog is God backwards goes against the tenets of some organized religions that are monotheistic and insist in the worship of one God. Because it is so stupid, it allows for the acceptance of other equally stupid ideas and a general culture of willingness to believe almost anything. This weakens society. If this happens, the film Idiocracy will seem like a documentary. How can it be stupid and clever at the same time? Because it is a factoid. It appeals to the emotions of the silent majority, as Norman Mailer said. In order for it to work, a society has to have a large percentage of people who are stupid enough to believe almost anything uncritically. If you can persuade enough stupid people to believe a stupid idea, then that idea no longer seems stupid. These believers then become missionaries, spreading a whole phrase book of manufactured factoids to overwhelm the rest of us. Attempt to discuss the dog problem rationally with a dog lover, and you are certain to be diverted by factoids that do not stand up to any evidence and cannot be tested. For example, dogs love us unconditionally. Man's best friend. There is no such thing as a bad dog. It's the owner, not the dog. Dog is God backwards is particularly powerful and persuasive because it joins up two different belief systems that have nothing to do with each other. If you try to disagree with it, you can easily be hooked into a discussion about God and religious faith when the real subject is dogs. Accepting that dog is God backwards has some meaning, leads to an acceptance of dog worship as a replacement for mainstream religion. Dogs and beliefs about dogs take on the characteristics of a religion, and it becomes acceptable to discuss dogs in religious terms. Within traditional and accepted world religions, believers will often talk about how their faith helped them through difficult situations in their lives, such as bereavement or divorce or unemployment. Believers will talk about being accepted by their deity, about not being judged, about finding themselves, about finding true happiness and peace in their belief system and their faith. Dog worshippers use faith in an animal as a surrogate for religious faith. Here are some genuine quotes from dog lovers describing how their dogs helped them through adversity. He didn't care. He accepted me. He didn't need me to be happy. He didn't judge me. He simply saw me. A dog doesn't ask you to say anything. He's just there. He accepted me. He wanted to be there. He saved my life, no question. My guardian angel licked away my tears and fell asleep with her head on my chest. I consider myself forever indebted to Haley for being the source of meaning and purpose in my life when I couldn't or can't find any. To me, she is my miracle sent from heaven. All of these people could be talking about religious faith, but they are not. They are talking about dogs that are not capable of doing anything other than carrying out their natural biological functions. Your dog is not your savior. It is not your rock. It is not your companion. It is an animal, nothing else. It does not help you through hard times. It is you and other humans that help you through hard times, not dogs. This dog is God backwards mantra provides false faith and reliance on a useless creature. Faith in a dog prevents you from solving your own problems in a constructive and adaptive way. Being persuaded that dog is God backwards is a highly manipulative and powerful psychological technique. In my video about logical fallacies, I wrote about the appeal to authority fallacy. Getting someone powerful, famous, or influential to agree with you adds weight to your arguments, but it still doesn't make the arguments right. In this dog is God backwards concept, they are appealing to the highest authority of all. It is the ultimate in celebrity endorsement. If God says that the dog is his companion and friend and provides this mysterious sign of letter reversal, then who are we to disagree? If we do, then we are the doubters and heretics 2 times over. We need to ask, where's the beef?